Monster Spire. What the heck did you shoot? Ooh, another Wing Scarab explosion. Ah. Feels so good. What the? What the? Yo. This map, man. Hello everyone, my name is Zo, and in today's video we will be comparing a high investment Atlas strategy done on burial chambers with an ultra high investment Atlas strategy done on the same tier 11 burial chambers map, but the ultra high is gonna be with Wing Scarabs and Corrupted 8 maps, and the high one is gonna be with Gilded Scarabs and 6 mod burial chamber maps. On the Atlas we're going to use, it's going to be the same on both sides, and it focuses on Abyss, of course, Harbinger, a bit of Shrines, Beyond, and as you guys will see, we're going to have Rituals in here too, together with Deliriums. You can have a link to this Atlas in the description below. If we check the compasses, they're Abyss, Beyond, Delirium, and Ritual. We want to have, the idea is to add as many rare monsters to the map as possible, and this is what I think one of the best ways to do it. As you guys can see, the ultra high strategy has exactly the same compasses. We wanted to keep some similarities between the two strategies, and that is why I decided that the Atlas and the compasses should stay the same. For Scarabs, we're gonna use Abyss, Reliquary, Divination, and Harby. And on the wing side, it is the same. And as I was saying, for maps, there are 6 modded burial chamber maps. Each of them has +2 additional projectiles on them. And on the Corrupted 8 side, it is the same. They all have 2 additional projectiles. That is why these Corrupted 8 maps cost quite a bit. And speaking of costs, let's put up the first spreadsheet, because we're gonna have 2 spreadsheets today. And we can see that the high investment map costed me like 0.2 divines to roll. The Scarab prices are 0.5 divines per map. The Sexton prices 0.7 divines. And that brings the total per map to 1.3 divines. And that for 20 maps is 26 divines. Now on the ultra high investment strat, I farmed this map myself, but on TFT they do sell for around 0.5 divines, the +2 project maps. The Scarab prices are 0.4 each for each wing, so that's 1.6 divines in total per map. The Sexton price is 0.7 divines, and that brings the total price per map to 2.8 divines. And that in divines for 20 maps is 56 divines. So there is a 30 divine difference in investment. And I know 20 maps are not that big of a pool, but they should give us an idea of what are we doing and if we're doing it correctly, because I have another spreadsheet where I'm going to track a lot of stuff in. First of all, I'm going to track the number of wisps I'm going to get in the Wildwoods. I'm going to track the number of events, and I'm going to track the number of so-called mid spawns, because I think there is a different way to min-max our Wildwoods if we spawn closer to the middle of the map than on the edge. And another thing we're going to track for each map is going to be the number of abysses and the number of failed abysses, because as we know, Abyss does bug out. So whenever we're not going to get a Spire, I'll consider it a failed Abyss, and I'm going to track it over here. Another thing we're going to track is, of course, the number of divines, the number of Valdo boxes, the number of reliquary keys, and the number of fortunate cards. And because we have the way to track rare numbers, like rare monster numbers, we're gonna do that too, to see how big of a difference it makes from winged to reliquary scarabs. So this should be an interesting way to see differences for each map. How big, how strong are winged scarabs compared to reliquary, compared to gilded scarabs? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna get. We might get some surprising results, but it should be an interesting test. That is why I'm gonna go random live on stream at twitch.tv/games. Feel free to come over so we can have a chat. See you guys after I run these maps. Oh, a 6 divine conversion. Nice. Sweet. Dragon's Heart. 2 divine. Ooh, a 9 divine explosion. Nice. And I'm back with the results. And as you guys could see from the clips, we had some insane drops together with some nice loot explosions, currency conversions, and especially scarab conversions. So let's get into the results because they are pretty interesting. And let's start with the 6 mod maps that were not corrupted and were run with gilded scarabs. As I was saying before, the investment on these was 26 divines in total. So let's see what we get. If I open the stash, we're gonna see that only the pure divines drops are 40. But we also got like 1k chaos orbs, 9 Valdo puzzle boxes. If we open this other tab, we will see some decent amount of scarabs. We will see 7 Valdo reliquary boxes, quite a lot of good Ventors, which might sell. I'm not gonna add these to the total, but I think there's over 10 divines over here, 10-15 divines. We also had a Relicash Lucky Valor, which gives a 7% chance to suppress, which will probably sell pretty well. So let's pull up the excellence and see what we have over here. We have 119 divines worth of stuff. As I was saying, 40 divines, 9 Valdo boxes. Oh, and also had a doctor. Almost forgot. My first doctor of the league. Pretty crazy. Only one doctor in so many burial chambers. Now, I know I did not run like winged divination cards on my maps, but still, for gilded divination cards, only one doctor in so many maps. That's kind of sad to see. 52 fortunates, 7 voidborn reliquary keys, as I was saying, 1000 chaos, and so on. My most experienced scarabs were 16 abyss one, 10 reliquary, 4 winged carto, and so on. If we check the spreadsheet, we can see on the results page that if we deduct the investment, we still made a 20,000 chaos orbs profit, and that is 93 divines, and that for 6.5 hours mapped brings the divines per hour to 14.3 divines, which is pretty cool. Now gonna say 14 divines per hour for gilded scarab investment is pretty nice. And now let's take a look at the winged scarab returns, because this is where things are getting kind of crazy. So we did 20 maps with full winged scarabs, and if we take a look at the investment part, these were 56 divines worth of investment. That's pretty crazy, right? You get corrupted 8 maps, you get full wing scarabs and everything, but look at these results. So in 20 maps, we dropped 88 raw divine orbs, 60 Waldo puzzle boxes, 2000 chaos orbs, and look at these amount of scarabs. It's insane. We also dropped a tier 0 in the Bloodseeker, and quite a lot of fortunates. Let me just pull up excellence because we can get a better idea. Yeah, we dropped 255 divine worth of stuff. As I was saying, 88 divine, 16 Valdora boxes, 103 fortunates, 13 Voidmore reliquary keys, 2000 chaos, and look at these scarabs. Only the gilded reliquary scarabs are worth over 1000 chaos. And look at the amount of winged. 9 winged reliquary, 12 winged Carto, 11 winged Elder, 12 winged Legion. It's insane. So as I was saying, in 20 maps, we got 255.33 divines worth of drops, which is almost a 200 divine profit. We check the spreadsheet, we can see that the total return in chaos was 54,895 C. That in divines is 255.33. The total invested in chaos was 12,040, and that brings the profit in divines, as I was saying, to 199.3 divines. Now we did map for 7 hours because these maps were taking a bit longer than the Gilded Scarabs ones, but still, the profit per hour is kind of insane. 28.5 divines per hour, which is nuts. And now let's check the other spreadsheet I was telling you guys about at the beginning of the video. we can see some crazy differences between the 6 mod maps and the 8 mod maps, together with some crazy similarities. So in the 6 mod maps, my average wisp count was like 5,000, and in the corrupted 8 maps it was 6,000, which is pretty huge. 1,000 wisp different between these two maps. It's kind of nuts. Another thing, the number of events was 2.3. Over here I managed to get a bit more, and I think because I was having access to more wisp trails, maybe because there were more wisps in the wildwood, so it was a bit easier for me to read the wildwood, and that did raise the events average for sure. We already talked about the raw divines and the raw fortunates. Let's talk about the rares average, which was 154 in the 6 mod maps and 175. So we were getting like 20 more rares, and probably those were from the abysses, right? From that extra abyss. Because as we can see, the average abyss in the 6 mod maps was 3.35, and in the corrupted 8 maps it was 4, and this was dragged down a bit because if we check the failed abysses, I had a map where 3 of them failed, which is insane, and I had a map where 4 of them failed. So yeah, this is kind of unfortunate, not gonna lie. And I'm saying that 4th failed because I think in that map I had a map where my first abyss led to a boss and none of the other abysses spawned. So it was kind of crazy. Oh yeah, this is the one over here. With one abyss spawned and it was failed because it did not lead to a spire. So that was an ugly bug. That is why we have an abyss average of only 4. And yeah, the failed abysses is almost 1. And that is kind of nuts. Like a lot of, I think because of the boss, I only had 1 or 2 failed abysses. And because I killed the spires too early, I had quite a couple. But a lot of them were because they were just not spawning. Like, I don't know what's with the burial chambers. And because there are a lot of zones where they cannot spawn, or they get into some tight corners or something, and they would not just spawn the spire. For the next map, I'm going to try a different map. It's not going to be cemetery. It's not going to be burial chambers. It might be another really, really nice map that everybody is using. A lot of people are like farming on it. But yeah, it's going to be curious to see how many abysses, failed abysses, I'm going to get there. Because I'll do them at tier 14. It's going to be a tier 14 map. But it has a lot more open space. So hopefully the abyss average is gonna increase over there. Yeah, this is some interesting stuff we could see comparing. And I don't think, by the way, I know I was doing rituals, but rituals are not why abysses are not spawning. Just to test, I did try out 4 maps with extra Harvest Sextant, so I was not getting rituals in them, and I was still failing abysses. So I don't think, for those people who say that ritual is causing this, I don't think it is. I think the map causes this. I think Burial Chamber causes it with all its tight corners where the spire just cannot spawn properly. It is unfortunate. Maybe GGG will look into it, but yeah, that is what it is. Anyway, some crazy results in today's testing, that's for sure. Like 28 divines per hour from those corrupted 8 maps. Yeah, seems like pack size is king after all, because 6 mod maps only have like 30 something pack size, right? And corrupted 8 maps have over 40. So yeah, maybe pack size is king because it makes the wildwood a lot stronger, and together with all the wing scarabs, the explosions are just insane. By far the best wing scarab, if you want to know, is the winged reliquary. So if you consider doing this strat and don't have enough money to buy full winged, just buy the winged reliquary. That is by far the best wing scarab in these maps for sure. Alright, that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for being here. It does mean a lot. Keep walking, exiles. The next map awaits you.